Ladies and gentlemen, this is DVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. On the eastern Ukrainian front in the town of Pokrovsk in the Donetsk region, the situation is rapidly deteriorating. Russian troops are increasing their pressure, approaching the city from several directions, which poses a threat of a breakthrough in the defenses of the entire Donbass. Constant shelling has led to serious disruptions in critical infrastructure. Residents are facing a lack of water supply as well as regular power and heat cuts. In response to the worsening situation, the White Angel unit of the National Police of Ukraine continues to evacuate civilians from dangerous areas. However, the intensity of shelling makes access to some settlements very difficult, which complicates the rescue operations. Additionally, one of the drinking water points in the city has been closed due to security threats. Local authorities and rescue services are urging residents to immediately evacuate to safer regions. The situation in Pokrovsk remains extremely tense, and further developments will depend on the dynamics of the fighting and the effectiveness of measures to protect civilians. Now, moving to the southern fronts, the deterioration of morale and psychological state of Russian servicemen has been noted in occupied areas of the Kherson region. According to information from the Atash movement, a motorized rifle regiment of the Russian Federation was visited by a commission from the Ministry of Defense for a morale and discipline inspection. The reason was the increasing cases of sabotage against watercraft and suicides among the Russian military, which undermines the combat effectiveness of the units and may disrupt the plans for an offensive on the right bank of the Kherson region. Now, these events demonstrate the growing effectiveness of Ukrainian armed forces in striking at the enemy and the growing problems within Russian forces in the occupied territories. Over 150 days, the legendary Ukrainian commander known as Madyar and his unit have held firm positions on the Donbass frontline. Now, these aren't just numbers. They represent unyielding resistance, precision strikes, and tireless leadership in one of the war's most intense battlegrounds. Known for leading the elite drone unit, Madyar's Birds, his team specializes in aerial reconnaissance and precision drone strikes, playing a crucial role in disrupting enemy supply lines and neutralizing fortified positions. In this latest footage, Madyar's troops demonstrate their expertise in both planning and executing daring operations under relentless enemy fire.
За 2 доби, 5 місяців перебування 414-го окремого полку птахи Мадяра на Донбасі. Ми розгорнулися на сході з коліс відразу після тривалої 9-місячної операції на лівобережному плацдармі та паралельно кількамісячної гострої фази на Харківському напрямку Липці-Вовчанськ. Ми добре знаємо свою справу і незалежно від поточної компресії на сході робимо свою роботу, зростаючи та трансформуючись протягом року, що минає, з роти БПЛА у окремий БАТ, окремий полк і окрему бригаду на поточний момент. Цифри та результати мають значення. Враховуючи безцінні для нас, птахів, людську довіру, підтримку та любов, з кожним дотичним до вищеперерахованого ділимось результатами діяльності. 150 діб на Донбасі, 7 тисяч уражених та знищених ворожих цілей, понад 40 тисяч бойових вильотів, понад 1500 одиниць ворожого особового складу. Відчуйте дотичність до сатисфакції щоденної. Деталі у слайді та інфографіці. Очі та жало, робочий жах.
Next up, relentless ambushes on the Kherson front line. The elite Stepovy Hajaki unit, known for their agility and precision, continued to dominate operations in the Kherson region. Their latest footage captured yet another ambush on Russian forces attempting to reinforce their position near the Dnieper River. Using a mix of FPV drones and well-coordinated infantry strikes, the units turned an enemy convoy into smoldering wreckage. The tactical efficiency displayed showcases their ability to exploit terrain advantages and maintain pressure on advancing troops. Recent intelligence suggests Russian reinforcements are increasingly hesitant to even cross open terrain in this area due to the fear of targeted drone attacks. Now, this unit remains one of the most effective strike forces on this challenging southern front. Let's see them at work.
Что с тобой? Оттаскивай! Сюда, ко мне! Что с тобой? Иди, выпрыгивай отсюда. Ты слышишь меня? Выходи отсюда. Егор, одного ко мне зови срочно. ПП. Быстрее на фабрику его возить. А что было-то? Давай пакет. Еще пакет перевязочный. А что было-то? Пиешка, ты не видел, что ли? Нет. Она откуда въебала? Сверху.
In a village of the Kharkiv region, a Territorial Defense Forces soldier showed extraordinary courage and skill in a close-quarters firefight. Armed and determined, he single-handedly eliminated 6 enemy combatants in intense close combat conditions. His actions not only halted an enemy advance, but also demonstrated the tenacity of Ukrainian defenders. Reports from the front line suggest the soldier used both small arms and tactical positioning to dominate the encounter, ensuring minimal exposure while maintaining accurate fire. This area remains highly contested, with Ukrainian forces continuing to repel repeated Russian assaults. With that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.